Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the best in the world!
Yeah. For those in attendance, I am the god. Fly nigga, giving more wood than a lumber yard. Yeah. They calling me Juice, but I got the sauce. What you see is what you get. There's no reason for all.
Hello, nomads, party and strangers everywhere across the internet. My name is V. We are back here with more Nomadic Reviews, where I'm going to chop this up into two parts because I'm knocking stuff off of my shelf because I'm doing some stuff where if you get offended by what I say,
Bucket yourself up, bitch!
So first thing off the shelf, stuck behind the Netflix jail, as many anime tubers like to say because everybody wants to blame streaming services, is Carole Tuesday. I'm splitting this up into the first 12 episodes of part 1 instead of the whole entire series because there's a lot to talk about in both parts. And there's a lot to dissect in some of the best ways possible. And just the small nitpicking stuff that, although I can see why anime tubers have problems with it, it's also kind of why the creator is who he is, because it's never a clear reason behind his motives. Carole Tuesday, made by Shinichiro Watanabe, aka the creator of the beloved Cowboy Bebop and other sort of shows of that nature, has Carole Tuesday on the same setting in the same universe as Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy in Mars, in the same future, where Earth has been attacked by a lot of stuff after that Warp Gate thing happened.
See? It sounds good already.
So anyway, still on Mars in the city of Alaba, we have the titular characters of Carole Tuesday meeting on a bridge where, after their fated meeting, they end up trying to formulate some music together so they can begin their road to stardom. Or as the narrator, we later find out to be their future manager Gus, calls a 7-minute miracle. More on that later. The entirety of the series is an incredible music-based anime in the same vein as Beck, Nana, and Kids on the Slope. It centers around a coming-of-age-esque type of story with two lovely characters in the center for a lot of big musical moments for the world of Mars that's being built around us in the same exact way that we don't get in many other shows. Sometimes we're just shown small fragments of the universe around us in other mediums, but this is one that makes us want to solidify it as home. Every moment feels more like we're actually there in the dirt and the grind with them in all of their misadventures, their ups, their downs, and even the small triumphs that happen. All the laughters, the joys, all the nice character moments, we are there. And then we have to go into a ripoff of The Voice.
No surprise!
Yeah, Mars Brightest, that section of part 1 is where a lot of this stuff gets a little bit more hammered home about this is the road to stardom nowadays, because you can't do it the old-fashioned way of just make good music and be independent. No, you gotta do stuff that goes viral. And that's just one of the key things that, although I want to hate it, it actually reflects about what real life has turned music into nowadays, and I'm kind of angry about that. Needless to say, it does also tackle upon the whole argument within the series of the first part, which is AI-created music mixed together with authentic music made from the heart. That organic sound that comes from the original era of how music was born and how music has evolved nowadays is a nice counterclash about what the ideology for music should be in a day and age where technology has become the new norm. Whichever side you're on about it, I couldn't really care less, because now we're just going to go away from the analysis about the series and finally talk about just the themes, music, and characters as a whole. When it comes to the music, the variety for part 1 is a welcome addition to a lot of different things. We don't just have a singular genre to focus on because we have everything. We have sad girl music, we have pop, we have soul fusion, we have R&B, we have metal, we have opera rap. Opera rap, for fuck's sake! French music. We have so many different ideologies of music just circling around us that it's almost criminal to say that this is a singular movement. This is an organic soundtrack in the making, even though we will never hear Skip's full-blown song for the stupidest reasons. Put Thundercat on the original soundtrack already, Carole Tuesday mixers! But aside from all of that, let's also focus on the themes. Originally, I was gonna just tackle on the regular ones about the coming of age storylines and how the isolation stuff between Carole and Tuesday from their different backgrounds make them the perfect foil for each other. But I'd rather focus on the theme that is literally in your face from the first song. Loneliest Girl's whole thing points out the exact reason why this anime is what it is. It's less of a ideology towards being alone and feeling sad and depressed and just trying to sing your feelings out. It's a whole movement about what happens when the emotions build and then everything explodes around you into a whole new sound of things. What happens then when everything becomes so over-raptured once you let all of the wounds out? Are you going to be happy? Are you going to be sad? Are you going to be joyful? Or are you going to be destructively unhinged? Every single notion about that song, when you break it down by a huge theme aspect, means that it pretty much painted a picture about what the journey is going to be like for these girls for the first half. Explosive emotions from a lot of different individuals. Gus, from just hearing the song on like a phone from Rhodey, the assistant producer for all this stuff when it comes to their videos. It made him explode with emotion to try and be a manager again and help make the Seven Miracle happen. Etrigan, the eccentric DJ, he had an explosive thing of his emotions to try and not help Carole Tuesday, and it showed the anguish on his face about his arrogance during the Mars Brightest Talent series. The main antagonist of Angela, former model and former child actress, raised by an abusive hermaphrodite, is literally having her emotions explode within each and every fragment she's on screen, and her music is her only escape from the torment. No one person escapes that whole entire iconic sort of theme and ideology that comes from The Loneliest Girl's actual lyrics when you break it down for more than just how the lyrics sound. It's how their message conveys the plot itself in its fluidity. How it makes the whole thing more of a coherent sound in a more melodic tone than any sort of thing you could ever hear from just a title track. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm kind of sounding like I'm a music whore, and I don't want to apologize for that. And if you guys want me to say anything about characters, I only have one thing to say and one thing to say only, but I'm going to wait for that later. But I will state this. Part 1 of Carole Tuesday is a nice soft introduction to the world of Alba City after the events of Cowboy Bebop's movie and the anime itself. Either from a 20 or 50 year gap ahead of the story or before it, it doesn't matter which one. All it does is paint a picture about two girls that just wanted to make a better life for themselves and how they want to make the world even better by letting them hear their songs. Even if it only means they get a small crowd, they've touched the hearts of enough people to make something more coherently beautiful. Part 2, however...
Boy, you crazy!